Buddy,
How's it
just back a
going?
little bit.
How are you guys? Okay, we're gonna go live and
and we
make
are
the screen
crooked.
crooked because that's
Sorry.
how we roll
That's how
around
we roll.
here.
We need a tripod, like a better setup, yeah.
Okay,
Anyway.
so we are gonna start our vegan dinner ideas now, and so I think you guys are gonna really enjoy this. This recipe is a creamy mushroom pasta, and I'm gonna get started, and then I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about it as I'm cooking, because it's gonna take about 15 minutes for it to actually cook. So let me start. I've got a pot of, like a big soup pot here with just a little bit of vegetable broth. I'm using vegetable bouillon in there. What's it called? Better than bouillon. I'm using this to just do a little bit of water frying with some flavor.
The water frying works really well. I was actually very much opponent to it because I'm like, oil, oil. But it's actually working so well. I'm actually so surprised how this works. It's really working well.
Yeah, you were pretty resistant to
Yeah,
it for
I
a
was
long
like,
time.
it
You're like,
doesn't look
"No."
right. But then actually we figured it out. We burned one pot, but doesn't matter. We figured it out, and then now it actually works really, really well.
It's great.
Hey, by the way, we're looking for a new pot, like a wok, because our kind of burned.
I burned the wok. Let me tell you how I did this. I was doing too many things at once.
That's what is happening.
That's what always happens. I left the heat on to make it nice and hot to saute and just brown some onions. And then we're like, what's burning?
Yeah.
It was the wok.
So anyway, so the thing from the wok, of course, just kind of burn out. So now it's going to become toxic, basically. So we're looking for the new wok. We have some ideas. Sorry. We still want to stick with the green pan, and I think I found.
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Why?
These, because I just want to show you what I'm doing. So I'm gonna put in first, I've got half of a jalapeno, 5 garlic cloves chopped, and 1 medium onion. Forget about the basil, that's for later, and the sun-dried tomatoes. And you just ruined the recipe because you ate my 1 sun-dried tomato.
That's right.
Okay,
That's what I do.
Go ahead.
So anyway, we are thinking about to get a green pan again, and there's like a ceramic on the inside. What I researched, most of those non-sticky pots are actually bad for you.
Yeah.
The cast iron is good, but I didn't know that. If you burn a lot of cast iron, you actually digest iron inside of yourself. So
some people like to do that. I was going to this physical therapist, and she's like, "Oh, we don't take an iron supplement. We only use cast iron pots, and that's how we get our iron." And I was like,
that is awesome.
Odd.
Yeah, our water is actually have a lot of iron, so I think we good on iron. So yeah, and now we're gonna make one of the really good pastas.
So if you want to show a close-up of this, I can just show what I'm doing.
Let's do this.
I've got this about on a medium heat, so I've taken 1 medium onion, and I'm using, you could use really any kind of chili pepper. I'm using a jalapeno because that's what we have. I'm using half of one. If you don't like a lot of spice, then you could use a quarter, or you could just completely omit it. Another thing you could use instead of an onion would be maybe like a shallot or 2. That would give it a really nice flavor. I love shallots in Italian food. But an onion works well, and so does the garlic, of course. I used 5 cloves of garlic. If you don't like garlic so much, you could use like 3 or 4. Or you could have even more if you wanted to also. So I've turned the heat down to low because our burners are super fast and hot. And I'm just sauteing this for about 3 minutes. Okay, then once that's done, I'm basically going to pour everything else into the pot. This is a 1-pot recipe, which is kind of nice if you're lazy and you don't like to clean.
Should we pour pasta already?
No, it's everything's
That's what
going
you're
in.
gonna do?
Yeah, everything's going in.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna do first, I'm using a can of organic reduced fat coconut milk.
That's
but
really
you could
good.
do you could do a regular fat coconut milk. This is just what I had. I think either one will work just fine. So I'm gonna pour that whole can in there just so I don't burn those veggies. And then I'm gonna, will you get out of the dishwasher the cup? I'm gonna put 2 cups of vegetable broth. And it all depends, like, what your preference is. And I feel like it goes recipe by recipe. Sometimes I use the Better Than Bouillon broth, and sometimes I use these little cubes. And these are my favorite, yeah. These are my favorite vegetable bouillon cubes if you're gonna use. I really like this brand, Rapunzel. I found it in Germany, and it tastes really good. And they have it here too, so if you
can find it in like a natural grocers and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them anywhere else. I think Walmart might have them, but
No,
very
I think
rare.
only Natural Grocers or Whole Foods
Probably
where
Whole
we
Foods.
live.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now I'm taking pasta, so you could make this healthier and have it be like a whole wheat pasta or a brown rice pasta or quinoa pasta. This package is 17, and I think that's gonna be a little bit too much, so I'm just gonna put, I don't know, maybe like 14 ounces
This
of
looks
pasta
like
in there.
3/4 of the package.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to stir this, and we're gonna want this to cook. So I've got
You've got a baby coming. That's what it
definitely
says.
a baby coming. So I'm gonna let that go, and then I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put everything else in. Let's
Alright.
see. I'm just trying to go fast, putting everything in because I know that the pasta is gonna take a while. So I'm gonna heat it back up to like a high for right now. I've got 4 cups of mushrooms in here. So I like to measure after I've sliced. So I'll slice some, put them in a cup, and then slice some more, put them in a cup, because I feel like sometimes you can be in this shot with
I'm
me.
just far away.
I'm sorry. I feel like sometimes you're confused when you look at a recipe and you're not sure, like, do I do them whole? Do I do them sliced? Anyways, 4 cups sliced mushrooms. I'm using baby Bella's, and
I'm gonna go far away.
but you could use cremini mushrooms. That would work too. So I'm tossing those in there as well. This is, like I said, super easy because you just throw everything in. Then
You probably, if you have an access to like a very good, like, you know, like a European mushrooms, or, you know, they're like a mixture of mushrooms. Like in Europe, mushrooms are so popular. They have so many different
That's
kinds.
true, yeah.
When you go to forest, you can just pick up not just button mushrooms, but there's like, I don't know, 15 or more, probably more. I don't know a lot about it, but there's so many mushrooms. My mom is always like going to to forest and pick up so many mushrooms. She comes back with like this huge basket of it. I'm like, how do you know which ones are poisonous, which are not? But she learned from her mother from her mother, and everybody's learning from
Their mothers.
from their mothers, from the families, and they're very good. The tastes are so different. I'm kind of liking button mushrooms, but to be honest, I think I'm getting tired of this a little bit. I would love to have some try different mushrooms.
yeah, I think it would be
And
good
I know
to try
there's a
some different
shiitake and maitake and all those kind of like stuff, but I don't know, the European, we used to have this like a mix of dried mushrooms from Europe.
Yeah.
They
Do you
were-
still have those dried mushrooms? You could show them. Yeah.
No, they're gone from Costco forever, I think, and which is shame, because I think that
It's
a
nice
lot
to
of
have a
people
mixture.
don't appreciate that.
And
what
also,
they have.
it's nice to have a mixture of mushrooms because they all have different properties that are good for your
Yeah.
health.
Yeah.
So we do use a lot of baby Bella mushrooms, which are just baby portobello mushrooms, and cremini mushrooms, because those are what are in the stores. I feel like I'm gonna
Yeah,
catch on fire.
I'm just looking, I'm like,
Let me
that's too
scoot over
close.
a little bit. But you could use like a white button mushroom or any mushroom that you enjoy. That would
Yeah.
be totally
Yeah,
fine.
that's totally
So
good.
let me go back now
Okay.
that that's cooking, so I can tell you what is in here. So I started with, let me turn that down just a little bit. I started with 1 medium onion, 5 cloves of garlic, and half of a jalapeno. I diced up all of that. I put that in with a little bit of the Better Than Bouillon vegetable base and some water, and I sauteed that for like 3 minutes. And then, where's my spoon? Then after that, I put in the 4 cups of mushrooms. I put in about 14-15 ounces of pasta,
4 cups of diced mushrooms,
sliced.
sliced.
And I put in, I'm looking in here because I forget what I put in. Oh, I used one of those Rapunzel bouillon cubes, because 1 cube is good for 2 cups of water. But of course, whatever bouillon cube you use, essentially you just want to have 2 cups of vegetable broth. And then I use 1 can of coconut milk, either full fat or reduced fat is totally fine. So I've got some spices that I'm going to put in here, and then some other fresh things. But I want to wait until the pasta cooks down a little bit, because I find that
I can talk anytime if you want me to. You know, you can have a break for a second. It's
I'm
fine.
going to take a break from talking.
Or you can talk slower.
Right after I say this. I find that if you put the spices in too soon into any dish, especially like an Indian dish, but any dish really, then you cook the spices out. You end up having more salt than you actually need to have, more of everything than you actually need to have. So I'm going to wait to put a little bit more, to put the rest of the spices in. You talk.
Yeah, what should I talk about?
I don't know, whatever you'd like.
Well, we're expecting soon. It's anytime, so any prayers
Yeah.
are very much appreciated. Also, hey guys, thank you so much for watching all the other videos. We kind of see the spike in our channel, which is really something nice. It gives us like encourage to to keep on
Continue,
going and push it and just go full time with this maybe one day. We don't know. For now, we are really enjoying it. Yeah, it's a lot of work and we have our goals towards YouTube, but I think this is gonna be so cool. Give us some suggestions for the
Video ideas. What do you guys want to
for
see
like the
from
videos.
us?
Like, I mean, we have an ideas. We do have a great ideas. We have a lot of them, but I think a lot of you asks for some videos that kind of like majority of people would like to see, and this is where we're like, okay, well, let's do it. So
Yeah,
and those
whether
videos
it
are
be
doing really well.
recipes that you want to see or you want to see some other kind of things from us, please let
Yeah.
us know because it would be really helpful. Because obviously, if we're creating videos, we have ideas that we think will be interesting, but we want it to really
To
be something
interesting
that
for
you
you
want.
too, yeah, yeah, and my wife, she gave me a T-shirt. It's called Dada too, because the 2 is common.
Number 2.
It's right there, so I'm really happy about it. And then yeah, sun-dried tomatoes are amazing for a lot of different stuff. We use
I wanted to show you this brand that we get from Trader Joe's because a lot of times you see sun-dried tomatoes
They have
in
so much
oil,
oil, yeah.
and these have no oil.
And
They're
these
just
are so much better.
yeah, it's just California sun-dried tomatoes,
Right.
and unfortunately sulfur dioxide for color retention. But there is no oil in these, and so I think these are great. I use these in quite a few recipes. If you have my free cookbook, and if you don't have it, you can go to my website, veganmichele.com, and get it. But the tomato soup recipe, I believe I have sun-dried tomatoes in there, and those are the ones that I use for that as well.
Talking about T-shirts actually and products, so we actually started lining up with Teespring, as you know, like a lot of YouTubers do this, and we never could find like a very design that we would like to have, and so we finally opened up the Teespring store. We have like about 6 items there,
They're
or
really
8.
cute.
They're really
not
cute. They're really
cheesy.
fun, and they're not cheesy. They're very
It was really
like,
important
elegant.
to me that like it would be something that I would actually wear.
Yeah.
So I ordered one of the t-shirts, and I'll show you guys soon.
But it's gonna come like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you know, if you're interested now, you can go to Teespring, write Vegan Michele with 1 L, and then you'll see a lot of beautiful things and items. We're very happy we finally can open up with all of this and just.
Do you have like? Could you show them on your phone, like kind of like
yeah,
the
I
design?
can show you.
Something that like I really dislike is when there's like giant logos and it just looks so tacky. I would love it to be something that I could wear like in a kind of like minimal, but still stylish way. So that's kind of the style that we made everything, and they really turned out cute. I've got one with a beet, avocado, and
That's it.
that's it. But there's a couple different products.
Yeah, but there's the
within
different products, and they're kind of they're all implement each other, and I think you guys complement each other, and I think you guys will like it. So
those. Let me pause you for just a second.
Okay.
Pause.
I'll just open power.
I'm gonna stick a 1/4 cup of chopped sun-dried tomatoes in here, and then I'm going to put some spices now. So I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, ground paprika in there,
I love
and
the
then
ground paprika.
I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. I'm gonna stir that around because it's starting to thicken a bit. I've got it like on a, I've got it like on a real stove, medium heat. Our stove is just so hot
Yeah.
that it's almost on low right now, but
Almost in low, yeah.
I would say like a medium heat is good. So I'm putting that in, I'm stirring it still, and that's just gonna add a lot of flavor. The liquid is cooking down. I'll continue to keep it covered for a little bit. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, wait. Okay. So this is like a T-shirt with like a little beat on it, and then the back there says it's kind of the quality is terrible, but on the quality of the screen is like not so great. But it's like a little beat, and then you have another things. We order also like socks. You can check the socks out. They're fun. They're also
They're
with
really cute.
with beet, but there's also with avocados. So I'll show you the avocado version. It's so fun. Oh, not this one. This one. There we go.
That's
Hold
gonna
it.
be amazing.
There we go. That's the avocado version of socks, and they're like a watercolored like a sock. So they're actually really cute. And also we got a fanny. What's it called?
Fanny pack.
A fanny pack, which looks like that. I'm really liking it. It's very fun. And they're all, like I said, on the screen doesn't look that great, but if you're gonna look on the Vegan Michele, it's gonna be good. Oh, and also we got this the bags.
Yeah, they're organic.
They're
cotton,
organic
like,
cotton bags.
Grocery bags.
Grocery
They're
bags.
like tote bags.
Yeah.
I think they're super cute.
So we don't want to be like Vegan Michele. Here I am. You know what I'm saying? We
I would
want
love it to be like if you like those. it's something that you can wear or use and be like, oh, this is cute, and it doesn't have like a giant logo on it, which I think is so like tacky.
Yeah, so we kind of coming up with this new thing and just try to do more products sooner or later. So they're kind of like fun to wear, and then instead of like, oh, well, I have a t-shirt from whatever, it's boring.
Okay.
Is it ready?
No, it's not ready yet. The sauce is tasting amazing, but the pasta is still hard. So I'm gonna turn it down a bit.
I was thinking if we can just boil pasta. No?
Yeah, honestly, you could. You could just boil the pasta and have it here, but I just thought it would be kind of nice for it to be easy.
No.
Should have done that. Okay, at this point, you could do a couple things here. I'm gonna add some spices. I'm gonna add some freshly ground pepper. And then I'm gonna also add a little bit of salt. Although because of all the like vegetable bouillon that I've used, you don't really need a lot.
Yeah,
so, like
because they have already like a lot of saltiness into it.
And then I've got, I don't know, I just did like a giant handful of spinach, but you could use spinach or arugula. And you can just stick that in there on top. Do you want to show them a close-up of what's going on in here?
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, because you guys don't see anything. Here we go.
Okay, so this is what's going on. It looks absolutely beautiful. I think I'm gonna need to bring this to a lower burner.
Yeah.
Let's take this back here. And I'm just gonna stir the spinach in until it wilts. Yeah. And honestly, as soon as the pasta cooks, you're done. That's all you have to do. You have one pot to clean up and you're good to go. Because of the sun-dried tomatoes, it kind of has like a very fresh taste to it. And then things that I'm gonna garnish it with, you could use like crushed red chili flakes if you like it a little spicy, you know we do. You could use a little bit of basil, which I'm also gonna garnish it with, just like 4 or 5 leaves, I just cut them up. And then you could even do like some lemon juice on there if you wanted to. So I'm gonna turn this down really low, just so it can simmer a bit. And of course, if you feel like this is starting to stick, then just add a little bit more water. I might do that. I might just add like a 1/4 cup of water, just so it can continue to cook ever so slightly. But I don't wanna, you know, drown out the spices that I just put in. Okay, so that is that. We'll let this cook a little bit more. Just a bit.
We'll tell you something about the future projects that we actually working on. So we're working on updating. Oh my gosh, on updating the website. The website is kind of published here and there, halfway here, halfway there. Michelle's working on the revamping the page for. It's already done actually.
Yeah, I finished the vegan weight loss course page. I revamped it. I added some client testimonials as well as some. What did I call that?
Reviews? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, case studies.
Case
so
studies,
just basically
right.
what I mean by that is like telling you, giving you the stats on people that I've worked with keeping them anonymous and just kind of like their weight, what their goals were, what we went through, and what we worked on. Because there is a set like online course, but then in addition to that, I work with people one-on-one to tailor the plan to fit their goals. So
yeah,
if you want to check that out, you can go to my website and check out the vegan weight loss course and see those updates. And then what else?
well, obviously after the pregnancy, I don't know if you want to talk about that goal that you
Yeah, I was thinking yesterday, I'm going to take myself through my own weight loss course after this pregnancy because I've gained about 50 pounds, which is really crazy. I never thought I was going to gain so much weight, but I really have gained a lot of weight in this pregnancy, especially in the last trimester because I have been kind of on moderate bed rest because of the complications that I had with the bleeding.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to exercise at all. I probably should have reduced the amount of food I was having during that time, but
yeah, but it's also like I know like
I don't
normally
eat junk.
she's so exercising all the time and like, you know, doing all those little things and Pilates and everything. So I feel like because of the bed rest kind of puts you in the back a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's so cool. I mean, I'm actually excited because like, you know, it's your own kind of ideas.
I know it works because it worked for me originally. That's where I kind of got the idea to do it in the first place. So I'm gonna go through it myself. So if you want to go through it with me, just let me know. Sign up and we can work together. Oh.
Is it hot?
It's really
yeah,
hot.
I know. Well, you should blow at it maybe once in a while.
Hmm.
She has like, Michelle's like this, like her hands are just, you know, like she can just pick up the hot stuff. I can't, like I need to use gloves. She blows like, okay, done. Then it's a surpriser. And I'm like, ah, you sure?
Okay,
yeah.
so that's just about finished. How about we just pour out a bowl so you can see what it looks like?
Yeah.
So, I washed these little guys, those pretty ones there. Right there.
Oh,
So you guys can have a pretty view. And then I'll just show you how I garnish it. I'm gonna let this cook a little bit longer because honestly, some of the pasta's still not cooked.
yeah.
But it's cooked enough for you to get an idea of what it looks like. It's really, really good. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, I can't wait to try that.
It's really good. Even if, actually, I think I'm just gonna turn it off and let it sit for a bit and it'll continue to cook.
Yeah, so, and then, yeah, you can write us the comments. How are you guys? What you've been up to lately? Because
Yeah.
obviously there's like, those changes are crazy what's going on.
The world is crazy
yeah, the
right
world
now.
is fun. Fun to be at it lately. Oh wow, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, it is really beautiful. Okay, so now I'm gonna garnish this with some
let me
fresh
just
basil. I cut this a little while ago. You should probably cut it fresh so it doesn't wilt so much. And then I'm gonna use just a little tiny bit of lemon juice. Squeeze that on there. And I'll garnish it with some more freshly ground pepper. And some red chili flakes.
Because you like spicy.
Because I like spicy. I feel like I say that in every single video.
That's what I said.
I know. You always say, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Okay, so that is the final product. It looks really good, and I'm telling you, it tastes really good.
I want to try
And
it.
let's see, I don't know how long we've been live. I think we can see here, 21 minutes.
Okay.
So still, under 30 minutes, you can make this easily for a dinner or lunch. I mean,
Yeah.
what we're doing.
And I think
dinner.
also faster will be like just a bowl pasta product.
Yeah, probably that would have been better. Do you want to try it? You blow yourself, because I don't want to
That sounds weird.
burn your tongue.
Mmm.
Isn't that good?
Mmm.
It's really nice. It tastes like really like
Oh my.
upscale.
Yeah. It tastes like a restaurant.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a,
yeah. That's kind of what I was getting.
Like you will go to this like a very,
at.
what is it called?
I don't know, just like a fancy pasta
Fancy
restaurant.
like a pasta, yeah.
Like the ones we used to go to in Vancouver.
Vapiano.
Vapiano's. It's very, very Vapiano's. That's like a European chain. I don't know if they have them in America or not, but they're really, really good. So
Wow.
that's good, huh?
Mm.
Yeah. So there you go. I'll run through the recipe one more time just so you guys can have an idea.
No,
I
I didn't expect it because we didn't like,
Yeah, it's good, right?
yeah.
So 1 medium onion, chopped or diced, 5 garlic cloves diced. I used a quarter or a half a jalapeno, depending on your spice preference. Saute that with some vegetable broth for about 3 minutes, then add everything else in. The rest is 2 cups of broth. I use that Rapunzel bouillon cube, which I think really pairs well with this recipe. I used a can of coconut milk, 4 cups of baby bella mushrooms, but you could use any kind of mushroom that you enjoy. Then I let that cook for a while, put the pasta in as well, 15 ounces of pasta, and then I added in half a teaspoon of paprika, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast,
Salt, pepper.
salt, pepper, freshly ground pepper always makes, I feel like that's next level as opposed to ground pepper already. And then I garnished it with fresh cut basil. Oh, I added in a couple big handfuls of spinach, fresh cut basil, and lemon juice on the top. And that's it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so simple.
Enjoy.
But it's really good. It's really delicious.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait to have actually.
More. I want to try it too. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry that took a little bit longer. Of course, if you want it to be shorter, just cook the pasta separately and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So we will see you possibly next week, possibly not, depending on when this little bun is ready in the oven. But it's very soon. I can't even tell you like how soon it is. It's like,
Yeah.
it's time. So
It's
hope you
down
guys are having a great day. Leave any recommendations if you do have a walk that you enjoy. And check out my website for some of those new things that are up there. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.